It started with the little things. Adam, my boyfriend of 3 years, had always been attentive, kind, and dependable, or so I thought. But over the past few months, something had shifted. His phone, once casually left on the coffee table, was now glued to his pocket. He had started working late, claiming he had new responsibilities at the office. And then there was Rachel, my best friend since high school, who suddenly seemed to be around more often than usual. Rachel and Adam got along well, and I always thought that was a blessing. Rachel was outgoing and funny, the kind of person who could light up a room, while Adam was more reserved but charming in his quiet way. They always had a playful banter, and I never gave it much thought. But now, their laughter felt different, too intimate, too exclusive. One evening, we all went out for drinks to celebrate Rachel's promotion at work. It was supposed to be a fun night, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Adam and Rachel kept exchanging glances, and at one point, I caught them whispering and laughing about something I wasn't privy to. When I asked what was so funny, they both brushed it off as an inside joke. The first real red flag came a few weeks later. Adam had told me he was going to a friend's birthday party, one I wasn't invited to because, as he put it, it's just a small thing, mostly the guys. I didn't think much of it until I saw Rachel's Instagram story later that night. She was at the same party. My heart sank. When Adam got home, I asked him how the party was. He casually described it, leaving out any mention of Rachel. Was Rachel there? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He hesitated for a split second, just long enough to confirm my suspicions before saying, "Yeah, but I barely talked to her. You know how she is, always bouncing around." I wanted to believe him, but the seed of doubt had been planted. A few days later, I confided in another friend, Emily, about my suspicions. She was shocked and told me I needed to confront Adam directly. "You deserve to know the truth," she said. That night, I waited until Adam was asleep and did something I'd never done before. I went through his phone. My hands shook as I scrolled through his messages, and then I found them. Texts between him and Rachel, hidden under a nickname I didn't recognize. The texts weren't explicit, but they were intimate. Inside jokes, late night I miss you messages, and plans to meet up when I thought Adam was at work. My stomach churned. The next morning, I confronted him. "Adam, are you seeing Rachel behind my back?" His reaction was immediate, defensive and angry. "Are you seriously accusing me of that? She's your best friend. How could you even think that?" But the more he denied it, the clearer it became that he was lying. I showed him the texts, and his face went pale. "It's not what you think," he stammered. "We were just talking. I didn't want to tell you because I knew you'd overreact." "Overreact? You're texting my best friend behind my back, lying about where you're going, and you think I'm overreacting?" He tried to spin it as a harmless flirtation, but I wasn't buying it. The final blow came a week later when Rachel, perhaps out of guilt or spite, confessed everything during an argument we had over something unrelated. She admitted they'd been seeing each other for months and claimed she thought Adam was going to leave me for her. "I thought you'd understand," she said, tears streaming down her face. "We didn't mean for it to happen. It just did." Her words felt like a knife to the heart. My best friend and the man I loved had betrayed me, and neither of them seemed to fully grasp the damage they'd done. I cut them both out of my life that day. Adam begged for forgiveness, promising it was over with Rachel and that he'd do anything to make it up to me. But the trust was shattered, and I knew it could never be repaired. Rachel tried reaching out, too, claiming she missed our friendship and wanted to make amends. But how could I ever trust her again? In the months that followed, I focused on healing. Therapy helped, as did leaning on the friends who stood by me. It wasn't easy, but slowly, I rebuilt my life. Now, looking back, I see the red flags I ignored, the lies I wanted to believe because the truth was too painful. But I also see how strong I've become. Losing Adam and Rachel was devastating, but it taught me the importance of trusting my instincts and valuing myself enough to walk away from people who don't respect me.